So welcome back. So as kind of predicted to myself, I can't stay away. I'm just getting bored. So I'm just doing little things that I can do while I'm sitting down, and just do a little bit here, a little bit there. So I came out here last night and I took the carb apart again because I couldn't remember what jet I'd put in there. I thought it was a 175 and on the main jet, and I couldn't remember then whether it should have been a 172 or a 175. And I eventually found all my jetting settings and opened it up to double check it, and it was all fine. So did all that. I also changed the needle for the float because I forgot to do that when I did it, so that bit was all done. I've cleaned up the front axle and the spacer, so I'm guessing about there would be about right for you. It's come out pretty damn good when you think of what it was like before. Where will I put the fuck have I done? Oh. There's me looking for the one for the rear axle, which is like proper crappy still, but I've chucked it in the parts washer liquid just to try and break down some of the grease. That's why I couldn't see it on the bench. So what I'm going to do for the moment, I'm going to take the cylinder head off and the barrel, have a quick check here now, make sure everything's okay. If it needs the new piston, then I'll put a new piston in it, otherwise I'll build that back up. I've cleaned all the engine up, you can see that in a minute. And then I've got to get a container out with some oil to put the new clutch kit in that I bought, just in case the other clutch was knackered, and then we can put a new clutch in it, and then we should be all good to go for putting it back in the frame. Right, so as I said previously, before I took the engine out of the frame, I actually went round and I loosened the barrel bolts and the head bolts so that I didn't have it spinning around all over the place while it was on the bench. So this lot should be loose. Not necessarily finger loose, but not far off of it. That's a brand new plug I've got sitting in there as well, but it's only finger tight so that I don't forget to tighten it up. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep my arm out of the way of the camera for you. Come on. So this stud's a little bit corroded on the end, but not too bad. Alright. Got a couple of little bits of crud in there. I want to try and get them out before they go down the water jacket. Now I'm hoping that they're metallic. They are, which is good in a way. It means I can I suspect yeah, gasket's well and truly stuck on there. And it's not in the best of conditions, so I'm suspecting that that's where the water was getting in to the oil. Although the barrel is brilliant in there, still got some hone marks in it. I think the camera will probably pick these up. You can see these are quite corroded. Those four, those two don't seem too bad, but I should put a little bit of, I'll clean them up and then I'll put a little bit of anti-seize on them. Alright, let's get that. You're going to come up. Come on, you bugger. No, that's not going to do it from there. Where's my kickstart? Let's put the damn thing on properly for a second. The noise, incidentally, was just the torch. Not broke, nothing. So there's a little bit of carbon on there, but not a lot. I just want to read what that says on the top of the piston. I'm hoping it's not been overboard. Which is all good. Well, as is usually happens with this, my 10-minute section was up and I didn't realise. The barrel is loose, but it is proving to be a bastard to get off, so it needs a little bit of tappity tappity. I'm only slightly tapping. It's come up a little bit, but again it looks like somebody stuck it on, and there is a bit of corrosion around the two back studs as well. So keep putting a bit of WD-40 down it. I've just got to be careful what I tap against. I don't want to tap against the water outlet. Yeah, I can see some corrosion around the back studs. I think the front ones are right. Now, this is the time when you're really tempted to get something in there and jimmy it up. For fuck's sake, don't do that, because you will knacker the surfaces. see what I can see. I think I'm going to stick a little bit WD round there as well, just to try and ease it out. That's a bloody nut. I'll give that a second. This was only going to be a quick one. It's probably taken me as long to get the barrel off as it did to. Oh, here we go. That felt hopeful. Come on, you bugger. There we go. So, oh, you bastard. Just get the last of the water out of that. Oh yeah, that's lovely. I'm not sure if that's going to show on the camera, but I'll try and get you up there in a minute. So this is another one where they've put sealer all around here. So I have to clean all that off. There's a couple of score marks on that piston. Nothing too bad. Got a little bit of sideways movement, which is nothing. But we've got absolutely zero up and down, which is brilliant. See, it's fairly recent, the piston. It's a little bit petrol-y smelling there, but only a little bit. So we can work with all of that. Right, let's try and get you a shot down the barrel. So I'm hoping that you can see in there that's no score marks on the side, which is good. Just wants a damn good clean up around the top and the base. I've got to make sure I put that in the right position for the power valve as well, because that's the activator from the water pump side that activates the power valve. Right, that's going to do me for now. Time to go and sit down. I'll carry on with this tomorrow, but for you it'll be in a minute. Confession time. So what I've done is I've had a couple of issues, and two minor ones. First one is I cocked up and I ordered the wrong piston. So I couldn't change the piston, but I've done that. Well, I've got a new one here now. And the nut and bolt rebuild kit that I got should have had nuts, bolts and everything else for the entire bike. And technically I suppose there has been. As you saw, there was a shortage on one of the bolts for the handlebar clamps, so I ordered another set of 4, but I ordered titanium. And now I've found that the bolts for the cylinder head are just, sorry, not the bolts, the nuts to go on the bolts are just a normal nut. They're not a dome. They should be a domed nut to go on the top. So I've ordered some of them. They're going to be here in a couple of days. But what I want to try and do now is get the piston in, get the barrel back on, get the head on, but I'm not going to torque the head up. I'm just going to put the nuts on just to keep it in place, and then when the proper nuts come I can do them. And I've gone all through the barrel. I've had the reeds out, cleaned everything up in there, they're all fine. I've checked the power valves, they're all fine, cleaned them all up. And then suddenly realised that I'd got so engrossed that I'd forgotten to film any of that bit, so apologies. So yeah, let's get the piston on. Come out, you bugger. Well, I knew that was going to happen. All I've got to do now is find the damn thing. I'm just going to pause it to save the battery while I do it, unless I can see it straight away. Which I can't. I'll be back in a minute. So I never found it. It's not a major issue because the new kit's got a it's got a set of clips in with it. I didn't get just the piston. Come out, you bugger. Oh, you know, coming out. So I've got to use the torch as well because we're having the light up here so you can see on the camera. It's like looking into headlights, you can't see anything behind it. You get so much more done when you're not filming. Well, I'm just going to turn that off for a minute. I'm sorry if you can't see a great deal. Come on. Come out, you fucker. Never in my life have I had so much hassle getting a bloody clip out. Come on. Oh, these are good bloody hooks. That one's just decided to bend the tip on me. Okay, so got the second clip out, managed to find that one, still not managed to find the first one, but the pin is well and truly stuck in there. Should never have to do that, this should just slide straight out. It doesn't want to. I'm really reluctant to tap it. I think I might have to. This is generally a big no-no. Right, that's got it moving. See if I can get some WD on the situation. It's as dry in there, which isn't helping. Deary me. So what I'm trying to do is, while I'm tapping the socket to get the pin out, is I'm trying to protect the con rod and the bottom end bearing with my hand. That is so tight. That's ridiculous. I mean, you can see where the small end bearing's been forcing its way around. Absolute crap. Let's get the bearing out of there. Yeah, dry as dry. Right, new pin. New pin, new piston. Actually, on the old bearing, the rollers don't feel like they're turning at all. So let's get me. I'm going to give it a bit of a fighting chance if I can. Oh God. yeah, that's so much better. But again, we'll give it a fighting chance. Right, there's the clips. So the way that I do this, now I guess most people would do it differently and they all have their own views, is I put a clip in one side of the piston before I put the piston on. Come on, you bugger. Right, so that way round, which is kind of handy. Come on, there you come. Right, that's the piston on. Rings to go on in a minute. I've just got to fight for another half an hour to get this second clip in this side. I'll let you stay with me for a couple of minutes after that. If I haven't got it in, I need to save the battery. So you'll be going off for a bit. Bastard. Had it then. Come on. I'm just trying to be like really careful with it because it's right on the edge of pinging off and hitting me in the face. I don't want to damage the piston. No. This is going to be another awkward bastard. It doesn't help that my hands are all oily and this is all oily and it's a very strong fucking clip. There we go. Right, where's my torch? I'm going to make sure that's in properly. Which it is. Right. Rings next. Now when I put the rings on, I like to put them on dry if I can, and then oil them up after. Come on. That's that one. That's that one. There we go. That's a good coating over that. Which will probably mean it smokes a bit when it first starts up. But I'd rather it smoked a bit than I scratched the bore putting it on. Right, find my base gasket now. Definitely not got enough space to work. Right. You bastard. Something came right there. Well, would you look at that? Oh, at long last, managed to get the head and the barrel back on. Now, had major issues. I got a funny feeling I've been sent the wrong size piston, because it does fit a multitude of bikes. So it was really tight in the bore, and I mean really tight. It would go in without piston rings, but the second you tried to do a test fit with the rings on, it was just too tight. And I checked the ring gap, that was fine. Now what I have had in the past, let's try and do this without moving the camera. What I have had in the past is the grooves that the piston rings sit in have been different to the rings supplied. Now I don't know whether that's the case or not. When I try and squeeze these ones in, they don't go all the way. Now that can be that the actual rings themselves are very slightly wider, or the groove in the piston that the ring sits in isn't quite right. But anyway, that one didn't fit either. So the first one didn't fit because I ordered the wrong size. I ordered a first size overbore, so that was my fault. So I've put the original piston back in, but I've left the new small end bearing in there, and I've left the small gudgeon pin in there because, as you can see, this gudgeon pin's worn quite badly. It was very dry for some reason, but it's all oiled up and raring to go. All the head bolts are just literally finger tight. I've put the head gasket in there just so that when I'm moving it around, these two surfaces aren't rubbing against each other and causing any damage. And the barrel bolts they're nipped up, but they're not torqued down yet. Next thing for me to do will be the clutch. So I'll do, I've ordered some crappy oil so I can soak the clutch plates. If you've not done clutch before, you need to soak the plates for about 24 hours. I've seen people do it for a lot less, but I always soak mine for 24 hours. Gives the oil plenty of chance to soak into the friction plate material. Once that's done, and then we'll get all new nuts all around here, sorry, bolts, because they're all in the kit. I think these ones up here, let me just turn you around a bit in case you can't see them. They're looking all pretty hunky-dory. Why are you not going down? There you are, it's just my greasy fingers. I've got so much oil on my hands, I can't grip anything. So yeah, was a huge pain in the arse getting the piston sorted. I'm not buying a third one because it's 70 quid a pop. I'm trying to keep the budget down, not put it up. And the other one was fine. I just changing it while I had it open, it made sense. So we're not going to be doing that. Yeah, once I've done the clutch, I can torque everything down, and then this baby can go back in, and then we can start getting the rest of the bike back together. So that's all you're going to get on this video. I'll catch you in a few days.